Want to welcome you all to the Danville City Commission regular meeting. Today's date is Monday, August the 26th, 2024, and the time is, looks like about 5:32. But you notice we were taking care of some last-minute business before we got started today. But welcome, and you'll get a chance to see your city government in action today, and we have several neat things to do this. I keep saying this afternoon, but my fellow commissioner said it's not afternoon, it's evening time, but I want to be out of here before it gets to be evening time, so we'll see, right? Okay, we're going to be led in a word of prayer to open our meeting up by Commissioner Peak, and going to be followed that with the Pledge of Allegiance today by Michael DeBoer and by Miss Danville teen Aaliyah Stegall. So, Mr. Carla, if you'll lead us in a word of prayer, then we'll ask those two to come forward. I'm sorry, Commissioner Peak,
You're
right?
fine.
Peak, I'm sorry, I called her Cottle.
I would ask tonight that we would work together for the common goal of Danville and making our community better. And I would ask that everybody would work together to make each other, lift each other up, to make us have a better community overall. Amen.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, Micah and Aaliyah, you two want to come forward, please? Come on, dude, you can do it. Bring up some steps, man. I told him to escort you up the steps. All right. Here you go.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioners, I'd like to ask you all to approve our agenda with one amendment, and that is that we're going to table item number 17, Municipal Order 082601-2024. We're going to table that. So entertain a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
So moved.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, ma'am. All those in favor of approving our amended agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, thank you. The agenda is approved. Next on our agenda is that we want to take time to hear from the public tonight. And at this first opportunity, we want you to talk to us about things that are only on our agenda at this point. So is anyone who wants to talk to us about items on our agenda tonight? All right, good. Well, I see some strangers in the crowd tonight. One back here on the back row, sitting there beside Miss Wilma Brown. I'll call you up in a few minutes. I gotta, don't get yourself together now, right? All right. The next item of official business is the pinning ceremony of Sergeant DeBoer. Chief Gray, you want to come forward and lead us in that? Yeah, come on up. Yeah. Yeah.
So, anybody else? There you go.
That's right, bring them up.
Mayor and Commissioners, the pinning ceremony goes all the way back to, it's a long-standing law enforcement, military, and even a nursing community tradition. It's a ceremony to pin a police badge or to recognize a promotion in a officer's or individual's career. This evening, we are pinning newly promoted Sergeant Stephen DeBoer. Stephen came to the Danville Police Department after 7 years of service in the military. He has served 3 years with the Geary County Sheriff's Department and 7 years with the Danville Police Department. This is a time of celebration and recognition for all that you have accomplished. It is also a time to say thanks for all those who have helped you work so hard to never give up and endure. The command staff and I have promoted you, but I think it's always appropriate for your significant other and your family to do the pinning.
All right.
For it is them who have helped you and endured during your time of service, and they will continually do so for as long as you do serve. Hannah, you and the boys may now pin your husband, Sergeant Stephen DeBoer, and do not stab him.
See,
Commissioner and Mayor, I'd like to introduce you to Sergeant Stephen DeBoer and his family.
congratulations. Thank you, Chief, and congratulations, Sergeant. All right, good job. And thank you for your service, military and Danville Police Department.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. You see, he accomplished all those things, and he's still just 21. Amazing young man, right? Aaliyah Stigall and her family, please come forward. Yeah, we're going to recognize you as being Miss Danville Teen, and you worked very proudly. And I've been told by Commissioner Pete that you're going to tell us about your platform, your
Yes,
service project.
yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So my service initiative is called Disconnect to Connect, Let's Get Real, where I promote real relationships with real people without technology. I created this back in 2019 before the pandemic, but especially with the pandemic, we all became so reliant on our technology, and especially in my generation, I saw these mental health effects and the lack of social skills that my peers had. I make it my goal to go into different schools, and I work at church with Miss Donna every Sunday to just teach these kids social skills and how to connect with one another without their iPads or their cell phones or video games. I've been into Kentucky School for the Deaf, Paravel Elementary School. I've done little events at Plaid Elephant, and just love going around my community of Danville and being able to represent as Miss Danville's teen and going to Miss Kentucky's teen as Miss Danville is so just amazing. And I've been vying for this title for 3 years, and they do say that the third time is the charm, and it definitely was for me. So I'm grateful to have this title and be right here in Danville so I can make an even bigger impact with it.
Wow, great job. No, don't leave the podium, because I got to get the audience to help me sing happy birthday to you, too. Today's a birthday. How about that, guys?
Ready?
Yeah, ready? I'm not going to lead it.
Go ahead, Don.
Go ahead, Donna. Happy birthday. Oh, come on, birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
And these are her shirts. This is her t-shirt.
And just passed them out and sold them to communities to raise
Awareness.
money, yes, to raise awareness, provide platform to also raise money for the Miss Kentucky Scholarship Organization. So all the money I raised through that goes back to the girls competing at Miss Kentucky's team. So that was very special as well.
Commissioners need to come down and join us. We'd like to present you with an official key to the city of Danville. Then we have a miniature city key and a state pin you can put on the sash at that table, right? To represent the city of Danville. And because today's your birthday, Commissioner Pete has 16th birthday. I said 16th. Card. Mama, get you all to come on up here now. I know we got grandmamas back there too, right? Yeah. Come on up here and some of these pictures now. Now, I only have one requirement. Take a picture anytime you want to. Just don't put it on social media. What's what her platform is? Grandma, what's your daddy, Grandma? Oh, photo. Yeah. You might do some very Too late to be up, friend, right? All right. Congratulations.
Keep the family in there, I'll take care.
Oh, there you go. Come on, right. And, when we finish with this, you need to go to the microphone over here, young man. What are you, Grandma? Right here.
I'll put you on Facebook.
Ah.
I don't do that.
I asked for that one, though, it's all right. I said happy time, this thing, right? The city commission is working today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. She's a character.
She is. We love her.
It's her birthday, I wouldn't stay. I would be leaving. I'll be leaving.
A small gift that goes with my fund.
Oh.
It has a sticker that has the design of my T-shirt on it, and then a little pin that says disconnect, connect, let's get
Oh, that's,
Very nice.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Very, very cool. When is the Miss Kentucky team pageant?
It is in June.
June.
So we have a little bit to prepare, but that's the good thing about winning early. Miss Danville is the first prelim of the season.
Oh,
It's
okay.
exciting.
Well, you keep us posted, keep us updated now. I know Mom and Dad will, but I asked you to do the same thing, right? That's great. Wow, how'd I get, okay. Next item on our agenda, Commissioners, is approval of the minutes of the previous meeting. Chair would like to entertain a motion to approve the minutes of our last meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
Thank you all. Any corrections, additions, deletions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Hi.
Those opposed, our minutes stand approved. Next, we have a proclamation in honor of National Deaf Awareness Month. Commissioner Carlo, would you read that proclamation for us, and then we'll present it to
I'll do
the
that.
KSD family who's here today.
Proclamation for National Deaf Awareness Month. Whereas the City of Danville, in collaboration with the Kentucky School for the Deaf, proudly recognizes the rich history and culture of the deaf community, which has been an integral part of our city for over 200 years. And whereas National Deaf Awareness Month is celebrated in September to raise awareness of the unique identity and communication needs of people who are deaf or hard of hearing, and to honor the contributions they have made to our community and beyond. And whereas the goals of the National Deaf Awareness Month include increasing awareness of the deaf culture, people, and issues, emphasizing the positive aspects of deafness and promoting a deeper understanding of the deaf community's experiences and contributions. And whereas this month serves as a reminder to encourage social inclusion, ensuring that individuals who are deaf or hard of hearing are fully integrated into all aspects of society with equal opportunities and access. And whereas raising awareness of organizations that support and advocate for the deaf community is essential to providing resources, education, and services that empower those who are deaf or hard of hearing. Now, therefore, Mayor James J.H. Atkins and the Board of Commissioners of the City of Danville do hereby proclaim September as National Deaf Awareness Month in the City of Danville. And we encourage all citizens to join in recognizing and celebrating the unique contributions and experiences of the deaf community, and to honor the 200-plus years of history and culture that the Kentucky School for the Deaf has brought to our city. Signed by the mayor.
Thank you, sir. Chair would like to entertain a motion to approve this proclamation in recognition of National Deaf Awareness Month.
So moved.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Proclamation is approved. Thank you all. KSD family, you want to come up and somebody going to speak? You need to introduce yourself. Call you out, right? I'll let the children go first. You want to let the children go first?
I'll go ahead and introduce myself. I've led in happy birthday and all the other stuff tonight. I want to thank the city of Danville for providing this opportunity. I am Lynn Petri. I am the principal of the Kentucky School for the Deaf. I'm all about setting up opportunities, making connections with each person in the room to get these young people out, get them involved, get them opportunities to just have dreams past high school. I want them to set up the biggest dreams that they have set for themselves. I have a lawyer, I have a future astronaut behind me, so I'm gonna give them an opportunity to speak. I want Ms. Barbie Harris as well to talk a little bit about the junior NAD. This is gonna be a perfect opportunity for us after having an open weekend for that junior National Association of the Deaf to just be able to reestablish itself at Kentucky School for the Deaf. And it's going to be a perfect opportunity to see how this meeting goes and accept this proclamation. So I'm going to let the president of the Junior NAD Association at Kentucky School for the Deaf say a little words here just to offer her, just benefit of what this means for you as a student and president of our Junior NAD.
Hi, my name is Annie, and here's my sign name. I'm the president of the Junior NAD chapter at Kentucky School for the Deaf. I'm a sophomore, and this is kind of my first year doing the presidential duties, and so I'm learning a lot of my new role. I'm really excited to be involved as the president, to be in this leadership program, to lead these other students and show them that, we can do these things. We can be leaders in our community. And I think that, I don't know. I'm a little awkward. I wasn't expecting to speak too much tonight. Sorry. That's it. So I don't know what else to say. My name is Allison, and here's my sign name. I'm a senior, and this is my first year as well being involved with Junior NAD. I'm the vice president, and so far she and I have, as Junior NAD members, we learned how it operates and learn it's not just leadership, it's not just being leaders, but learning about the possibility for collaborations that we can have and how we can invest back into the deaf community and into our school. And so it's a really exciting and honorable experience to be recognized even coming here tonight. Also, Annie would like to mention that thank you for, the Deaf Awareness Month. It really makes us feel included, and I think it's important to bring about that history and the culture and the language that we have. We feel very inspired for that proclamation reading. Thank you very much.
I thought she didn't have much to say, did she? Good. Uh-huh. Is Ms. Barr trying to say something? I think Ms. Barr first.
Yes, miss.
Did Ms. Barr want to say something?
Can everybody see me okay? You got a very tall podium here. Wow. Well, hello again, Mayor Adkins and the friends, commissioners there, as well as our friends we have here. Junior NAD is under the National Association of the Deaf, which is obviously throughout the entire nation. And so many deaf schools, as well as some mainstream or public school programs, have also set up and established chapters. Here in Kentucky is one chapter, and we've had it for going on 50-plus years. During COVID and everything else, we had to table it, and then now we have brought it back. We brought it back to Kentucky School for the Deaf, and we're on the path to reinventing this chapter and bringing it back around and showing these students the skills it takes and the value that there is to be leaders and to be involved in various organizations. Not just NAD, but we have FFA, we have community involvements, we have the student body government. Whenever they're out in the real world as individuals themselves, they'll remember what it was like to learn about these leadership skills and be able to apply those skills in their own communities and in their own jobs across Kentucky that they'll have eventually. And so where we're going from that and where we want to be, we had a weekend, an open weekend, where we had several deaf presenters that came in from some from California. We've had my husband, Archie Harris, was a presenter that came in to present to Junior NAD. He had been an advisor for many years and dropped that when he retired from teaching. We had several from different youth leadership camps, and so about 8 altogether over the weekend in different demographics and different skill sets that they all had. And to see those and expose our students to everything that's out there in the world and what they could glean from what they were saying. And so we're still learning a lot, and time will tell as we get going and we learn new skills and new trades that we can have. Even us adults too, we're still learning every day from these younger generations of students. So I really appreciate the proclamation that was read tonight about deaf awareness, and having that being read, was really valuable. Thank you.
Come on, guys.
Stay down.
All right. Thank you, guys. Next item on our agenda is a banner request from the Art Center for pole light banners. Ms. Ashley, you gonna take the lead on that one?
Yes, the Art Center, I think last year during this September and October, they hung banners on the light poles up and down Main Street, and they're just requesting to do that again this year.
All right. Commission, what's your pleasure? Allow the Art Center to put light pole banners up for September and October.
I move to accept the request of the Arts Center light pole banners.
All right, there's a second.
Second.
Thank you all. Any questions, comments? Hearing none?
Is it for Constitution Square? What's it for?
Josh, do you remember what they were last year?
It's
Or just random?
No, this is a different. Last year they put up, it was for the Glass Art Museum opening
Yeah.
last year.
Oh, okay.
And I think we kept those, and I think they just want to put them back up again
that's a
for,
good idea.
for a few
Okay.
weeks.
highlight arts in the community. Thank you, sir. Any other questions, comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. Thank you all. Motion carries. Now we have a banner request for the front of City Hall from Constitution Square Festival Committee.
Yes, the Arts Commission of Danville Bull County is asking to hang the banner for the Constitution Square Festival for the weeks leading up to the festival on September 14th.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the request as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, sir. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor of the banner request, say aye.
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 Those opposed, request is granted. Thank you all. City Clerk, second reading of ordinance 2035, zone change, South Danville bypass and Ghost Pike. Want to read that to us, Madam Clerk?
Yes, this is the second reading of ordinance number 2035, an ordinance changing the zone from agriculture AG to single-family residential R1C for approximately 56.884 acres, more or less of real property located at the intersection of South Danville Bypass and Ghost Pike in the city of Danville, Kentucky.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a motion?
I'll move to approve the second reading of ordinance 2035.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, sir. Questions or comments? Roll call vote, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Cottle?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Peak?
Yes.
Mayor Atkins?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Holland?
Yes.
Commissioner Saris?
Yes.
Stephen, did you see how well she did that? It was really smooth
It was
and far
commendable.
better than what you did.
Commendable, you do say so, yes. Wonderful job, Ashley, welcome back.
The next item is the first reading of ordinance number 2036, amendment to joint ordinance on medical cannabis. A recommendation from planning and zoning. So you want to read that one for us, Madam Clerk?
This is the first reading of ordinance number 2036, an ordinance of the city of Danville, Kentucky, amending Article 5 of the zoning ordinance Boyle County, the cities of Danville, Junction City, and Perryville, in order to incorporate rules and regulations pertaining to medical cannabis.
Thank you, ma'am. City Attorney?
Mayor, this merely incorporates what you approved last time, which was the planning and zoning text amendment request to allow or rather to incorporate what the state approved for medical cannabis inside the city limits and in particular zones and the various rules and regulations that would pertain to all facets of medical cannabis as approved by the state.
And what zones do we limit these operations to?
Well, there are different types of uses, whether it be a cultivator or a processor or a retailer, and those are limited to various zonings based upon what process would be employed.
Mostly commercial and industrial?
Mostly commercial and industrial, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Earl, I think you may have the table in front of you. There's an ag component to it as well.
Correct. The cultivators are in an ag zoning. All uses, dispensary, processor, producer, and safety compliance facility can be in any of our three industrial zoning categories. The dispensary, the only thing that is allowed in highway business is just a basic commercial dispensary.
Okay.
I say commercial, it's it's pharmaceutical, so it's similar to a pharmacy.
Yes. Okay.
But the license will be issued through the state. The
That's
city is not
correct.
doing
Correct. And that's in highway business, to be specific.
This is the only way for a community to say what is now is a state-approved process.
Yes.
To limit where it is appropriate or inappropriate in its specific community.
Thank you all for those explanations. We need a motion, I guess?
You do.
Is there a motion?
I'll move to approve ordinance 2036. First reading.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, ma'am. Any other questions or comments? Madam Clerk, roll call vote again, please.
Commissioner Peak,
Yes.
Mayor Atkins.
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Holland,
Yes.
Commissioner Saris,
Yes.
Commissioner Cottle.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, next item is first reading of ordinance number 2037. This is in reference to gravel parking lots, gravel parking, right? So, Madam Clerk, want to read that one for us?
This is the first reading of ordinance number 2037, an ordinance of the City of Danville, Kentucky, amending Article 4 of the zoning ordinance, Bull County, the cities of Danville, Junction City, and Perryville, in order to amend regulations relating to gravel parking lots.
All right. You want to read that again?
Can if you need it.
Thank you, ma'am.
I move for approval of ordinance, first reading of ordinance 2037.
Second.
Thank you all. Any questions or comments? Wow. Roll call vote again, Madam Clerk.
Mayor
Roll it, right?
Atkins,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Holland,
Yes.
Commissioner Saris,
Yes.
Commissioner Cottle,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Peak.
Yes.
We'll give credit to no questions to our P&C director.
Well,
Did a good job.
yes.
Yep.
She did a good job, yes. Okay. Next item is first read of ordinance number 2038, a zone change involving 130 Wilderness Road. Yes, ma'am. You want to read again? You're getting your money's worth.
I'm
today, aren't
making
you?
up for missing the last one.
There you go. All right.
This is the first reading of ordinance number 2038, an ordinance changing the zone from two-family residential RM2 to central business CB for approximately 0.238 acres, more or less of real property located at 130 Wilderness Road in the city of Danville, Kentucky.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a motion to be had on this one?
I'll move, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'll move to approve the first reading of ordinance 2038.
Second.
Thank you, ladies. Any questions or comments? Man. Roll call vote again.
Commissioner Holland,
Yes.
Commissioner Saris,
Yes.
Commissioner Cottle,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Peak,
Yes.
Mayor Atkins.
Yes, ma'am. We saved them all for your return. All right, let's go on. Way to go, guys. Oh, well, here we go. Next on the agenda is the city manager's report. Mr. Coffey.
Thank you, Mayor Commissioners. We really don't have a ton of work to present, other than we would like to note that Kinder Morgan in front of Chick-fil-A, that project is moving forward. I know they met last week on site and had a pre-construction. I think they're hoping to get things started this week, and work will take 4 to 6 weeks. The other thing that I would like to point out is just some dates. September 2nd, Labor Day, City Hall is closed. September the 9th is your next commission meeting. September 13th, we'd like you to note on your calendar is Employee Recognition Day. Randy may have something he wants to add there. If not, we'll keep right on going. Service awards will be handed out, and so we will ask that you all do that like we did last year. Would like to also add that the police department is beginning the Citizens Academy, beginning on the 17th of September. I'm not sure the time, Chief. 6 to 8:30, and I think it will be consecutive Tuesdays with it for about a month and a half, with the exception of October the 8th. That's a free program, and certainly we would encourage folks to sign up. That's extremely healthy, and it can help all involved. It helps the police know the community better, and it helps the community know our police officers better. With that, do you all have any questions for me for tonight?
If the city manager doesn't object to, when I was walking into tonight's meeting, I did receive one other update on the Kinder Morgan team leader matter that said that the contractor met with the Kinder Morgan field team, and they are scheduled to begin work on Wednesday of this week if one final hurdle could be lifted, which they anticipate being completed.
Any questions from the city manager, for the city manager?
Concerning Parks and Rec, and maybe Josh will answer. Do you expect next meeting we might get a report back from the architects on Bunny Davis?
I think it'll be a little bit longer than that for the Bunny Davis report. I'll try to get a firm date from them, but they're pretty early on in that process. I do think we'll have a pickleball feasibility study. We want to get together with the Parks Committee and the Danville Picklers before we bring it forward to you all in the fiscal court. So I would say that would probably not be the 9th, but probably the second meeting in September, we'll probably have that pickleball study ready.
Thank you.
Other questions about the city manager's report? Thank you all. Next item on our agenda is this is the second opportunity tonight. The commissioners will hear from the public, and you can speak to us about things at this time that are not on our agenda. And we'd ask you to raise your hand, be recognized, come to the podium, and we'll give you up to 3 minutes to present your position or make your statement. Ms. Liz, you want to come up and say something? You're part of the public now. She graduated from Tolliver School about 3 weeks ago, guys, so that's why I pick on her all the time, right? So, okay, hearing none, let's move right along then, okay? Well, here we go again. Next item on the agenda is commissioner comments, right?
What do you mean, here we go again?
I want to hear from you guys. I know you got something to report, right? You went to some
I'll go ahead and
training,
start
right?
since so last week I attended, previous meeting, I made comment about my attendance at Governor's Local Issues with City Manager Coffee and what we learned there. In between that time and this meeting, went to a Bike Walk Kentucky Summit at Transylvania. Josh Morgan was there, and so was Mark Morgan, not related. I'm not going to go into any specifics on it, but Josh and Jennifer Kirchner did have a, what do you call it? They had a session that they provided. They did a very, very good job, and it left a lot of people with a good impression of Danville, so you nicely done. But we picked up a few things that'll probably filter through Trails Alliance and Parks and Rec, and then if anything needs to be addressed, it'll come here. But it's a very good conference. I will make one comment. Ben Soley, if you don't know him, he's a pretty well-renowned cellist. He did a lunchtime for us and did music and talked about taking a tour across the United States on his bicycle with a cello and a bag on the side. Had footage. It was pretty impressive.
I bet that was. How long did it take him?
It was a whole tour, a whole summer tour.
Wow. Okay.
He said it wasn't in any particular hurry, and it didn't play big venues.
Well,
They didn't play the tuba.
Other commissioner comments?
I was going to mention about the state fair. Went up and worked a shift up there, and it was really well done. Kendall and Allie had it pretty well organized, and we had some cool stuff to give away. And I did not know that apparently there's a shortage of fly swatters because they had some to give away up there, and they were gone in a heartbeat. So, I don't know. Maybe it's hunting season. I'm not aware of it. Anyway, it was really neat. There were 4 people that said that Danville was on their list of places to move. They're looking to relocate, so our reputation is out there.
Wow.
Kevin, I found something interesting. When I did it, we were there, you had like a 5-hour shift, whatever it was. There was one family an hour, usually just a couple, but some with kids, that had moved here from California. Did you see any of that?
Wow.
I meant to ask that, and I apologize for interrupting the meeting for just a conversation, but yeah, literally 1 an hour. That I felt that intriguing.
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Wow. It is interesting. Commissioner Pete?
We went to a place called Paris, Tennessee. Got to see the Eiffel Tower in Paris, Tennessee. And it was pretty neat. I mean, their park system was really great, but then also we ran into some little town, we went downtown and checked it out. And people knew about Danville. They asked, where are you from? Well, Danville. And everybody knew Danville, and they were very complimentary of Danville. So, and some people had come here and they were going to come. Another family said, well, we want to go visit there. So our name is out there.
Commissioner Peak, they have one in Bourbon County now as well
Oh, do
that Brent
they?
Bowman is very proud of. So
Okay.
you can check that out
I'll
on
go
your
check
next
that
weekend
out.
adventure. Yes.
Well, I spent Saturday at Millennium Park. And I arrived probably about 8:30, 8:45. There was girls softball and boys baseball. There was a 5K. The MVets was setting up for the antique car show. There was soccer going on. There were folks on the skateboard park. And then probably about 12:30 or something, we got word that one of the restrooms was running water and nobody could get it to stop. So one of the 911 dispatchers was there. She took the mayor's phone, called 911, non-emergency. They called the rec department, and about 5 minutes later, our park director shows up with flip-flops on and a pair of short pants and a wrench in his hand and cut the water off. And everything was fine for the rest of the afternoon. But just think about that, all that was going on in Millennium Park, but citizens, there are things going on every weekend in this community. Please take advantage of them, but MVets had doubled the number of antique cars from first year's show to the second year's show, but really an impressive day in the park. Okay, any other comments? But tell Tommy he got caught. Okay, next on our agenda is the payment of bills. Chair would entertain a motion to pay the bills as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the bills in the amount of $508,250.39.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second? Second. Thank you, sir. Any questions, comments? No. So Chair would call for the question. All those in favor of paying the bill, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed likewise, motion carries. Bills are paid.
And I just want to say, I don't ask about the bills a lot. I mean, a compliment to staff and Lee and all the department heads. I mean, everything on here is just like your light bills, your water bills. So we look at them, it's just things that they truly, truly need, so.
I think typically the format of them too helps.
Right, and the information.
You generally can identify and we have a lot of typical vendors, and that helps too. And that's
Right.
not necessarily always seen externally,
That's
but it's
right.
easy to see it for you guys, I think. And so
Yeah.
we appreciate that.
Yeah, I appreciate
Yeah.
the information.
The truth of the matter, though, is that while I was in the park all day Saturday, Commissioner Peak was home with her calculator. And she was checking all the numbers on the bills list, so that's
Well,
why
and
she...
if there's ever any additional information that you want or a change in format, we're happy to accommodate that.
Yes, ma'am. All right.
I'd like to make a comment, just for the public's sake, and we're glad to see it too, that two of the tax rates have actually lowered and have been lowering for 2 years, so. The other one was flat.
He's jumping the gun on us, isn't he? All right, next item on the list is first reading of Ordinance 2039, property tax rate. Madam Clerk, let's let you read that first, then we'll have a motion, then we'll discuss it if necessary. All right?
This is the first reading of ordinance number 2039, an ordinance establishing ad valorem tax rates for fiscal year 2024 through 2025 and penalties for non-payment.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the first reading of ordinance 2039.
Second.
Thank you all. Ms. Compton, you want to make some comments?
Yes, so it is August, time for our, we set our property tax rates annually. We set, for the public's knowledge, we set 3 different rates. One is for real property, which is real estate. The second is personal/tangible property, which is akin to equipment, things of that nature that folks may or may not have. And then the third is the motor vehicle rate. We have proposed within the ordinance setting the rates at, and this is per $100 of assessed value, 0.122 for real property, 0.1584 for personal property and 0.2 for motor vehicles. I'll get in motor vehicles out of the way since it's the easiest. We are capped at that set amount, that set rate since the 1980s at 0.2. So there's really no adjustment for that. The other two rates are calculated comparing the assessed values of property values that is completed by the PVA annually. They send us an assessment, and we calculate how much revenue we would generate and what rate would be appropriate based on the new assessments. Typically, historically, we have taken what's considered a compensating rate. Typically, that results in a lower rate because values for property increases, and to generate a similar level of revenue, your rate lowers. We had discussed in the budget process increasing that while still lowering the overall rate. However, based on our actual values, we're not currently suggesting that we take what's considered the 4% revenue increase. Or the biggest, if you look, I went ahead and printed it out because the online version was very small. When you look at the actual values compared to the assessments from 22 and 23, we're seeing some bigger jumps compared to the projection in our tangible values. And I will fully admit tangible property is very difficult when it comes to assessment and when it comes to projecting the rates. But in tax year 2023, we generated $270,000 more in revenue on the tangible property taxes than we anticipated. Pretty close to that, not quite as much, but about $200,000 in 2022. And we've seen a similar increase in the assessment value for tangible taxes that we did last year compared to 2022. So Earl and I discussed and thought it best to go ahead and recommend the lower compensating rate of 0.122 to generate that level of revenue. We believe that the 4% increase, it's not a 4% increase in tax, it's a 4% increase in rate, would truly generate more revenue than 4%. Because when we compared, for instance, 2022 to 23, there was a 7.63% revenue increase, and we did not elect a 4% revenue increase. If that long story long, we've been generating based on those values rather than the rate increase, and increasing the rate might disproportionately impact people and disproportionately bring in more revenue than we intend.
Thank you, ma'am. Any questions or comments?
So we're going with the compensating rate in the
That's
top left?
what we're suggesting, yeah.
Okay, so that's the lowest. Okay.
Yes.
Thanks.
And Commissioner Sear, you want to make your comment again now about the rates?
Already said it. Sorry, I got out of.
That's all right, no.
I was saying.
The compensating rate is going down from 2023 to 2024, is what he was trying to get across.
Yes,
Okay,
your
good comment.
actual property tax rates have went down since at least 2017 for the city of Danville. I can't speak to any other jurisdiction, the city of Danville's rate.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, Chair would like to call for the question. Madam Clerk, do you want to do a roll call vote again?
Commissioner Saris,
Yes.
Commissioner Cottle,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Peak,
Yes.
Mayor Atkins,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Holland.
Yes.
I will say, we will need to have a special called meeting probably this week to do the second reading of this ordinance, because we only have until what, September?
September 5th, which is
Thursday, week from Thursday. Week from Thursday.
Maybe I'm confused on the date. Let me double check the date, but when Ashley and I discussed, it needed to be this week to hit our deadline. We have 45 days from the date we received the property value assessments from the PVA to get it published into the county clerk's office so that they can prepare bills in a timely manner. So one day this week, if you all are available, please, and thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, next item is Resolution 2024-08-2601, the WWTP Lagoon Cleanout Bid Award. Mr. Carrier.
Thank you, Mayor. On August 20th, 2024, the city of Danville received bids for upcoming sludge removal services at the wastewater plant. This includes lagoon solids removal, dewatering, and transportation to an approved landfill. We do this, we don't do it annually, but we try to do it every 2 years at a minimum. So when we do that, the solids in the lagoon have accumulated to the point that we're losing capacity in the lagoon, so we have to get that removed and dewatered and taken to a landfill. We received one bid from H&A Resource Management for $88.75 per wet ton. This bid compares favorably to previous similar work at the plant, so I pulled up the old resolution from 2 years ago, and the low bid at that time was also H&A Resource, and they were $80.62 per wet ton, so we're pretty close, still within 2-year time frame, which is not bad. And that's saying something because back then, we had 2 additional bids, and the next lowest was $125.48 per wet ton, and the next highest was $186 and change. So pretty happy to get $88.75 at this time. Contract sum of $250,000 from utility capital budget.
And staff has been pleased with their work?
Say it again, I'm sorry.
Staff has been pleased with their work in previous years?
Yeah, they actually, they've done similar work at the water plant or at the East Main Pond.
Okay.
So they do great work and very communicative and keep me and our utility personnel up to speed on where they are at any given time based on cost and efficiency of work. So they do good work.
Thank you, sir. We need a motion?
I move for approval of Resolution 2024-08-2601.
Thank you, sir. Is there-
Second.
Thank you, ma'am. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, resolution passes. Josh Morgan, Public Works dumpster agreement.
Yes, thank you all. In your package, you have an agreement from Rumpke to provide dumpsters for our Public Works Department. Primarily, what these dumpsters do is this is where we dump the street sweeper debris that they collect each day. So we churn through a lot of debris there, and so this becomes a pretty big expense for us. So they've done some price comparisons, and they would like to go with Rumpke down there. So this is just something we'll have to do annually because we're kind of agreeing to our unit rate for the year.
Thank you, sir. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2024-08-2602.
Thank you, ma'am.
Second.
Thank you, sir. Josh, you didn't state an amount. You stated an amount for that one for us?
Sure. So, there's a lot of different numbers that go into this, but it's for the 30-yard roll-off container, it's $150 a month, $534 per haul, $47.50 per ton hauled for each ton over 2 tons.
Yeah.
And a $100 one-time delivery fee. And then there's also a 40-yard roll-off for, $598 per haul. And then an 8-yard front load is one time a week at $165 per month.
Any other questions for Mr. Morgan?
Well, usually it's Rumpke and Republic are usually the 2 vendors that we look at for this kind of thing. So they got prices from both.
So Republic did put a bid in?
Yes. We've prior to this, we've always used Republic, and their pricing has slowly crept up on us.
Right.
And that's why it triggered us to go back out and get some other pricing.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, sir.
Are you saying that we'll be using all 3 of these containers?
Potentially, it depends on what we're doing at the time. Sometimes we need extra dumpsters if we're doing some extra cleanup, if we have a project we're working on. But we usually keep a 30-yard down there all year long that we kind of empty as we fill it up.
So in the other ones would be pay as needed
Yes,
necessary?
yes.
Okay.
Other questions or comments? Okay, Chair calls for the question. All those in favor of Resolution 082602, say aye.
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 Those opposed, likewise, motion carries. Next item is the rock salt bid award. Mr. Morgan, you have that one as well.
Yes, in your package, you have the results of the reverse auction that we completed on August 25th. There are a couple typos in this one, but the main typo on the form is that it says $104.75 per ton was a low bid from Morton Salt. That's incorrect. It's actually $99.75 per ton. But Stephen got it right in the resolution, so we're good to go tonight. I think it threw me off because 104.75 is what it was 2 years ago. So we've actually gone down, which that rarely ever happens when we bid things like this out. So I think that's what threw us off. But yes, Morton Salt was the low bid from 4 bidders in the amount of $99.75 per ton.
Thank you, sir. Is there a motion?
I'll move to approve Resolution 2024-082603 at the $99.75.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second?
Second.
Are there any questions? Comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, motion carries. Thank you, Josh. Mr. Young? Is someone reporting for Mr. Young?
Oh, me? I'm sorry, I thought we had one more.
Okay. Oh, we tabled number, the next item. Okay. Thanks, Chief.
So the codes enforcement report, it's pretty usual, nothing unusual there. I guess one of the things is he placed some liens in 21 for a total amount of about $5,800. He recovered roughly 12 of those liens in amount of almost $3,500. The biggest thing about codes is with the promotion of Sergeant DeBoard, we now have pretty much the restructured that side of the police department that's going to cover codes, parking. So with the addition of Sergeant DeBoard, we've got Captain Mullins will be over ABC, codes, and parking, kind of like what Bridget was. We have another Sergeant Rainwater will be assisting him in that. Under that wing, we've added the school resource officers. They will also, that wing will cover all the special events. The thing that we've seen is that now that, we have ABC, a lot of the special events have an alcohol component to those. So Captain Mullins will be handling all the special events, him and Sergeant Rainwater. We still continue to have restaurant growth and issues out of some of those restaurants and things and just bars with ABC. Captain Mullins is also our firearms instructor. So that was also part of the reason that we needed to get another supervisor there is because he's not doing just what Bridget did. He still has some law enforcement duties as well. So it was imperative that we get another supervisor there to help monitor codes and do some things and supplement that side of the command structure there. Any questions or concerns or thoughts about anything there?
Commissioners, any comments, thoughts? I thought it was a good report.
Yeah, I think
Somebody's got some boots on the ground.
with all the work that staff has done and our support, we're happy to see that you've built up your department to where it needs to be.
I think it's just a logical approach on, how things are going to flow and grow for us as a community further down the road.
Good, good. Thank you, sir. Next item, Chief Gray's Highway Safety Grant Acceptance.
This is our annual highway safety grant. It's a 100% reimbursable grant that we apply, a federal grant. It supplements us for the seatbelt campaigns and the speeding campaigns that's put on by the National Highway Traffic Safety. It's $8,500. We ask that you all accept that. It's overtime. We try to use the electric Mustang that we purchased for all traffic enforcement, and I think that's made a really good impact, being out, being visible. And it also is a test for, in the future, if we want to go to electric vehicles and cut down on emissions for the fleet.
Thank you, sir. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2024-08-2604.
Thank both of you. Questions or comments? Is the Mustang able to keep up with all the rest of the cars on the road?
It's pretty fast.
That was a nice answer, Chief. Oh, yeah, we do. We've got to pass this motion first, though. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Those opposed? Yeah. Unbeknownst to us, there is a need for an executive session tonight,
For personnel.
just for personnel. And I'm gonna, allow 10 or 15 minutes for it, and we'll be back out?
Should be, yeah.
Oh, somebody said, so nobody leave? Oh, just joking. Is there a motion to go into executive session? Uh-oh. No motion? Good.
No?
No?
I make a motion to go into executive session to discuss personnel matter pursuant to KRS 61810-1F.
You're a good man, Commissioner Siri.
I'll second.
All those in favor going into executive session, say aye.
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 Those opposed, say aye. you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're back in regular session. I think the city manager has something for us.
Thank you, Mayor Commissioners. Staff is recommending the hiring of Yvette Bly to the position of Parks and Rec Maintenance Supervisor.
So moved.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Congratulations, ma'am. Chair will entertain a motion for adjournment.
I'll move to adjourn.
want to go home too early, right? We moved in second, everybody said aye, we adjourned. Kevin seconded.
Second.